I am a young man as well who has been privileged to have been growing and happen to find myself in a position of responsibility. And just as the last speaker said, these three conundrums have been one of the things that I have been working towards and trying to master as a man, because truly, you cannot be a leader if you do not master these things. But away from what the speaker had said to where I will be going, I'll be talking about money. As men, how to manage our money, right? What are the things, the emotions that drive us in money decision making? When the convener was putting together the panelists or those that will be talking to us this year, I'm very sure he would have put me in there because of my reputation in my company. As the CFO, they always complain that I am too strict when it comes to releasing money. And one of the problems they always say is that CFO don't release money. Release this money. Is it your father's money? They will approve money, you will still be asking questions. I'm very sure that is one of the reasons why he put me in there. I want us as men to know that one of the leading factors that is responsible for marital problems is finance. As a matter of fact, some psychologists and counselors put money problem as the leading factor for breakups in marriage, only seconded by infidelity. And that is to tell you that your money as a man is very important. Now, why is money important as a man? And why do we need to master our emotions around spending money, how to keep money, right? And how we need to relate with money, our relationship with money. Now, you see, as men, society has placed responsibilities on us. As men, we are leaders in the family. We are leaders in anywhere we find ourselves. And of course, by virtue of our position, our God-given position as men, we need to spend money. In fact, no woman, right, if you take a sample on the streets, would want to be with a man that doesn't spend money, Abi? Yes. If you ask the women, they will tell you that they want men that can spend. One of the major things they will tell you is that I want him to be a spender. His money is our money. My money is my money, right? But yes, while being that, how then as a man would you manage your money, right? Now, what I want to speak about is man's intentionality and purpose towards finance and financial relationships, right? Remember, as a man, you are placed with the strategic direction of your family. Now, you have the strategy. Your wife, for those that are married, and for those that are yet to get married, your wife or your spouse will be the executor of the strategy. So as a man, you are the one that no matter how intelligent your wife is, if your wife biblically understands her role, right? She defaults to you as the man to be the person to give her direction. When a woman wants to get married to a man, any woman that is a woman, because the Bible says that he that findeth a wife, so any woman that is a wife or that is ready to get married must be a wife. And one of the responsibilities of being a wife is yielding direction and control of the family to a particular man that you have decided to submit to. Don't look at what the world is teaching out there, right? So how do you need to make those decisions? I would like to start with Isaiah 55 verse 2. If we could quickly put that up here to help drive the first part of my speaking, which is ego and the wallet. How the need to be seen as successful drives financial decision and wealth. Right? That part of the Bible says, why spend your money on food that does not give you strength? Why pay for food that does you no good? Listen to me, and you will eat what is good. You will enjoy the finest food. That is what Isaiah 55 verse 2 says. And that leads me to my point. As a man, irrespective of wherever you are, the first thing you need to do is that you need to be driven by a set of principles. And the major one is, for everything you do, you must have a budget. For everything you do, you must have a budget. If a country has a budget, every company has a budget, then who are you as a man not to have a budget of how you spend your money? I give an example. I came into Lagos, just like Tokwe says, about 2010. As at 2010, I had finished my university in 2008. I went to school here in the West. I am from Rivers State, for those that might be wondering how my name sounds. My father sent me to school in Osun State, finished my school, and then I came back to Lagos after my school, went back to Port Harcourt, came back. And I started working in 2012. 2014, I got a better job with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And while in PricewaterhouseCoopers, mind you, not all accountants know how to manage their money. We are also like doctors who prescribe drugs to people, but when they fall sick, they cannot treat themselves. In PwC, I met this beautiful young lady. She's in Canada now, married. Every month, do you know what this girl does? She buys dollar and puts it in a particular account. So that is where this 50, 30, 20 rule comes. So I took pen and I wrote it down. 50% of my salary goes to my upkeep, my tithes, what I will give to my mother, what I will give to my siblings. And mind you, I happen to be the first of 6 children, right? My father is a civil servant. My mother is a civil servant / trader, right? 30% goes to savings for my rent. 20% is savings for the future, right? Now that 20%, I began to follow this lady. I will buy dollar and I will put it, I open a DOM account, I will put it there. I started with $80 as at 2014. Every month, that money will not be touched. And I did it that way because when my friends and all the people come to ask me for money, after I have budgeted it that way, I will be able to tell you that I don't have without my conscience pricking me, right? Now, every month I used to do that. Every month I used to do that. When they increased my salary, I increased it a little. Now, your guess is as good as mine, and I do that up to today. In 2020, when I had saved enough of that money, I went to go and withdraw it. So do from 2014 to 2020, multiply that by an average of $100 to $120 for this long period of time. I went to go and remove the money, and I went to go and put it inside, converted it to Naira, and put it inside treasury bills. So I'll get to that point. So as a man, you need to have a budget. Budget for your family, budget for whatever expenses you have, budget for your outing, budget for hanging out. so that you don't run into financial difficulties. Spending without a budget, spending without a plan is one of the major issues that men do have. Another thing is some people are also caught in this habit that they call keeping up with the Joneses. Right? In that play, the Joneses had a next door neighbor that always wanted to match up with what they do. If he buys a BMW, this one buys a Chrysler. For us, you see somebody with an iPhone 17, you go and trade in your own iPhone 16 that has no problem. You can send email, you can send text, you can receive call, you can send messages, you can go on YouTube, you can go on everywhere, you can do everything that the phone is doing, but simply because you want to be among, you go and sell it. Remember, the iPhone 17 will be more expensive. You sell it, you borrow money and add on it, and get the 17. Guess what? After using the 17 for 2-3 weeks, you derive no value anymore. In fact, that initial dopamine hype of you getting the phone, it dies immediately you walk out of the store, open it, put your SIM, and then put in all the other details. 2, 3, 4 minutes, it is gone. But these things have financial implications on you. Another thing is trying to impress people who actually do not care after your initial interaction. For example, where do you stay? Right? What you wear? How you appear? I'm not saying you shouldn't look decent as a man. I'm not saying you shouldn't appear neat as a man, right? But why spend excessively just to impress somebody that really does not care after the interaction? I'll give you another example. As the CFO of ValueJet, I presently stay in Shomolu. Okay? My house rent in Shomolu is 1.2 million naira. I stay in an old apartment. The window of that old apartment is 6 feet by 6 feet in the sitting room and the dining. Very spacious for breeze to blow me. I've been staying there before I got married to my wife, and I'm still staying there up till now. In fact, this year we make it 10 years that I've been staying there. And guess what? My landlord came to me and said he wants to increase the house rental, but he's building a house in Ibadan. If I can pay him 2 years in advance, he will not increase it to 1.8 million. I quickly paid him 2 years in advance. So as I speak to you now, my landlord is owing me for rent till 2027 and 2028, while other people will pay 1.8 million. Now, how did I get to that point? Remember, I stay in Shomolu. You, as an individual, must be, as a man, you must take decisions, right, that will keep you in a position where at least you should be comfortable financially for the next 2-3 months. I always assume that, let's say they let me go, right from when I was in PwC. Let's say they sack me now, God forbid. Can I maintain my lifestyle for the next 3 months while I'm looking for another job? Mind you, when I got married to my wife in 2019, the next year my wife came to tell me that we've been staying here as a bachelor. You've gotten married to me now. Hey, it's good for us to leave this place. Everybody has known you when you used to bring your former girlfriends to this neighborhood. We can't stay here. Let's go somewhere else. I said, okay, you lead the way. I will follow you. We started house hunting. All the places we were seeing were 3.5, 4 million, 4.5 million, 3 million, 3.8 million. And the places we are so tight and clumsy. She had, when you get married to your wife has so many issues. Before you know it, she comes with a small bag from her parents' place, And then before you know it, one shoe leads to another, 3 shoes, 4, 5, hair, and all this. So her things were so many that even those places we were looking at could not even take her spare things. After we did that house search for 2 weeks, she came back and told me, no, baby, the way I'm seeing it, I think we should still manage this place. I say, okay. You see now. So that was wisdom. I guess that was wisdom, Pastor Abi. Now, how do you spend your money? Very important. And the last but not the least on this part, before I elucidate further, is also how do you manage black tax? Okay? Black tax is not only when you are outside the country and bringing money home, right? It's also how you respond to your siblings, how you respond to your cousins that ask you for money. For somebody like me, every 25th to 26th of the month, that is when salary drops. And I've always noticed that there are people that will always begin to greet you from the 21st of the month. Brother, I just called to greet you. Brother, I just said, let me say hello. How are you and the family? How is everything going? I hope you're fine. It's been a long time. Preparatory to the 25th to tell you that, I have one small challenge. My school fees is falling due. How do you manage all of that? Okay? As a man, very important. Remember, if you fall into financial stress and difficulty, most often you find out that you are alone, except you have very good friends that are in your corner. And in most cases, those your friends can only carry you for so long because they also have things that they need that money to, to take care of. So you need to manage this appropriately. Remember, 50, 30, 20. And how was I able to meet this? Strict savings. Before you can be an investor, like the person I'm working with, if you must first of all save money. Nobody can be an investor without savings. So savings, first of all, takes you to the position of comfortability. Then after that point, it then takes you to the position of financial independence. What you are able to invest will first of all start with what you can save. Of course, there are a lot of theories which I do not want to go into technical jargons that people will say, of course, if you save too much money, inflation erodes it. Yes, of course. But to you that is struggling, first of all, to be able to make ends meet, what business does the common man on the road have with inflation when he has not eaten and he has not even been able to meet his daily needs in the first instance? So you first of all have to be able to maintain a decent amount of savings before you begin to talk about investing, and we are going to get there. So as a man, to ensure that ego does not drive your wallet, you need to budget. You need to ensure that you're not competing with anybody. There's no competition. That this man drives a car and this one drives another car, a car that is better than mine. It has nothing to do with me. I'll give you another example. Before I got another vehicle, I used to drive a Toyota Camry 2009 model, which I bought in 2015 after they gave me correct slap inside one chance. So I gathered money and I bought the car. I was privileged to have a friend in Canada then whose brother was looking to sell a vehicle. And just like Pastor says, because of relationships, maintaining quality relationships, I was able to talk to him to tell his elder brother to sell the vehicle for me, and I will pay in 3 monthly installments after the initial deposit. And they started shipping the vehicle. Guess what? I used that vehicle from 2015 up until 2024. Every time, once I hear one sound, I will take it to the mechanic. Oga, please, help me check this thing. Because there's a Yoruba adage that says that somebody that has only one, my pastor is an Ijebu man, say somebody that has only one thing is the same as having none. Because the day something happens to that one, you will realize that you actually do not have. So whenever I hear this tire or this thing make noise, I will go and repair it. But guess what? I used that vehicle from 2015 up until 2024, which is 1 year shy of 10 years. And when my wife asks me, I will tell her, it is better for you to be financially okay than to seem to be financially okay. Two of them, there is a big difference. So, one, you will not be able to sleep well. One, you will not be able to sleep well. You will always be in a state of panic, in a state of anxiety, right? If your landlord passes beside your window and you've not paid rent, you think that he's coming to your door, right? You will not even be confident because you are just one step away from a financial disaster, right? The second part of my presentation will be fear-based money, right? How anxiety about scarcity, failures lead men to either hoard and never invest or take risky investments, right? That break them. Now I'll be looking at Proverbs 6:6-10. As a man, I've mentioned that a little. You must ensure that you drop something aside from your salary. Learn now. I started dropping that money when I was earning 150,000 in 2014, 180,000 in 2014. That same 2014, as the first child, my dad had retired, and of course, I needed, from his pension money, my other 3 siblings needed to go to school. So I had to be dropping something, right? Either to augment their transport and the likes. But I told my father that this is the amount that I can give. Because even me, for Lagos where I dey, I know balance. There's an adage in the South, or Warri, because we speak a lot of pidgin in the South. The reason is that we don't have a common dialect. We have about 8 different dialects. This one is speaking Ijaw, this one is speaking part of Igbo, this one is speaking Ikwere, this one is speaking Andoni, Opobo, Ekpe. So we have different languages, so we speak pidgin the most. There's an adage that says that, lean on me, no be to press me, make I die. Okay? So, if somebody requires your assistance, it doesn't mean that you put your neck until you can no longer breathe. The Bible says, of course, as Christians, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Right? So you need to be keeping something aside. Right? When that money that you keep aside is now reasonable enough, right? The first thing you need to do as a man is to research investments that you can put your money into. The first rule of investing is that don't put your money in what you do not understand. Okay? There is no wealthy man, there is no investor that doesn't take time to understand his business, understand the sector he's going into, understand the risk before he puts his money into it. I know that time is almost up. Understand where you're putting your money to. The first thing you should do as a man, if you don't have any idea, is to put your money in what we call risk-free investments. Risk-free investments are investments that yield returns, but the returns are small. In finance, we say the lower the risk, the lower the returns in terms of the risk-return hierarchy. And the higher the risk, the higher the return. But you know that the higher the risk means there is a high tendency that you will lose the money. Buy treasury bills. Get small interest. Even if you buy treasury bills and they put 25,000 naira on top of it, it's something. Money keeps compounding. That interest will also be compounding, means that interest will also bear interest, and then the interest plus the principal keeps, bringing interest, and then before you know it, you have enough to then be able to look for another kind of investment that you are going to put it into. So like I told you, I used to keep $80. Then naira to dollar exchange rate was good. Every month, I kept that aside. And even up till now, I still do it. Remember, as a man, you see some people and you say some people are lucky, some people are privileged. There is nothing like luck. When opportunity meets with your preparedness, people assume that you're lucky. So I used to do that. And then, when I became the CFO of ValueJet, and how did I become the CFO of ValueJet? That's a conversation for another day when we are talking about emotional management, how you manage people around you. If I'm privileged to give some thoughts about that in the panel session, I will tell you how I landed this and the quality of relationships. Now, me being able to save this amount over this period of time, and I became the CFO of ValueJet. Guess what? As the CFO of ValueJet, I invest the company's money in with all these investment houses and all these banks as well. So the bank, one bank came to us and said, look, I've been talking to chairman, so I want you to invest in us. Don't worry, we'll give you good rates and all this stuff and all. And when they finished, I said, okay, but what are you going to do for me? Abi, I have this so small money. If I am to invest this with you, how much are you going to give me? He said, Oga, the money is too small. We'll give you maybe 12 or 13%. I said, okay, but I'm investing my company's money. You are asking me for 1 billion, and you are going to give me at the rate of 27%. If you will match my own personal investment at 27%, I'll give you the 1 billion. Right? Opportunity has met with preparation. I've not done anything bad. I've not done anything wrong. I'm only leveraging the opportunity that has met the preparation. And guess what? They gave me at a 27%. When on a normal day at the market, I would have gotten 13 to 14% maximum. Right? Because she sold, that person that came to market, he said, okay, I'll go and talk to my MD. And the MD said, MD, if you are going to get this 1 billion or 2 billion from this airline, the CFO say, make you give them that in own small investment, make you give them the same rate. Okay, now we can. Of course, we can be able to do more with this. And then I went ahead and I was telling my colleagues and my peers that have to, okay, this is what I'm doing. If you have money to invest, come and meet me. I get way there for a year. Bring your money, come. Both will gather them together, put them for this place. They will give me better rates. Okay? So, if you have not been saving, and you are saying that the economy is bad, and you are saying that inflation will finish on, no be 200,000, 300,000. That 200,000, 300,000, if you keep 200,000 in the bank for 1 year, that's 2.4 million, right? If you do that for 5 years, how much would that money be? Right? And then if you gather that and come and put it in an investment that will give you a return of 25%, risk-free. So it means that no matter what happens to the economy, let's say treasury bills, you know what treasury bills is? For those of us that are experienced, yes, you're borrowing the government your money, you're lending your money to the government. And the government, all things being equal, has a 2 to 3% chance of going bankrupt. The worst case scenario, they will tax me and you and use the money to pay back the people that they've borrowed from. That's why it's called risk-free. Right? Or you buy other fixed investments that people do sell what's it called, Stanbic IBTC and all these people, they sell money market funds. You can put your money there, piggy vest and all this stuff, right? So very important.